I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I want you to know that God is going to show up for you. And he is pushing us as a nation throughout the world into the same posture. It's almost like a parallel reality, even though we're so far into the future and that's the past, but somehow, some way, it just seems like that we're in the same flow, the same rhythm, the same lifestyle. God is setting the stage for a miracle in your life. God is setting the stage for you to witness his power. God most definitely is setting the stage for you to really see something that you ain't ever seen before. You know, we've read about it, we've talked about it, we witnessed some of the things that God has done for us. But this is something a little bit different. It's something, the temperature is a little bit different right now in our environment. And God is really setting the stage for him to be revealed. And I wanted to say this today, that what you see today is something that you probably would never see again. God wanted me to let you know tonight, just relax and be still, and he will fight for you. He also wanted me to let you know that he is parting the seas in your life, SEAS. If we go over to Exodus 14 and 13, I want you to understand that the Israelites were so tired of Moses because even though they were heavily oppressed in nature, exhausted, discouraged, tired, broken, poor, hungry, thirsty, and even though they cried out to God so God could rescue them, God pulled them out of something that was familiar and he put them in an environment that was formless, where they had no choice but to trust his lead. And so at this time, if we fall at about verse 12, the Israelites were tired. They were very tired of Moses. Because when you have grown a certain way and you're used to doing a certain thing, and when God sends somebody that he's broken the pattern off of their lives, if you connect to him, he begins to break the pattern off your life too. And so they had gotten tired. They even told Moses, just be quiet, go on. We're tired of listening to anything that you have to say. Actually, we should have just stayed over in Egypt and lived the way that we have been living, because it's just ain't working. I mean, what you're talking about, we ain't seeing nothing. I mean, they were so frustrated with him that they preferred to be in Egypt, enslaved, than to die in the wilderness. So if we follow about verse 13, NIV says that Moses answered the people, do not be afraid, to stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. And the Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Amplified Version said, then Moses said to the people, do not be afraid to take your stand. Be firm and confident and undismayed. I mean, in today's time, he would probably say, be unbothered and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For those Egyptians who you see today, you will never see again. It's a lot going on in all of our lives. No matter who you talk to today, The common thread or the common denominator is fear and uncertainty. And I want you to understand that God caused the Pharaoh's heart to harden, to force the children of Israel into the posture of prayer and submission, to force them into a situation that was formless, into a future that was unknown and unseen, into a wilderness experience to really develop into the nation that he knew that they could be, into areas that were so different than anything that they've ever seen before. See, it's some pharaohs in this environment that God is allowing their hearts to harden. And he is pushing us as a nation throughout the world into the same posture. It's almost like a parallel reality, even though we're so far into the future and that's the past, but somehow, some way, it just seems like that we're in the same flow, the same rhythm, the same lifestyle. Are you going to be like the children of Israel today and tell people that have told you to pray, to fast, to cry out to God, to don't listen to the noise, just to stay tapped in, locked in into the Spirit of God? Are you going to pray? Are you going to keep on believing? Or are you going to say you don't want to hear no more? Because nothing ever goes the way that you want it to. You may as well just stay the way that it has always been in your life. I'm tired. I don't want to hear any more people telling me what God is going to do for me. Or are you really going to believe? Because I want you to know that we are in a pivotal moment in history where we can choose to do what we've always done and get the same results. Or we could choose to come together regardless to the color of your skin and just worship God. See, God is calling us into an area of submission, prayer, and belief. Submission, prayer, and belief in order for you to defeat your enemy. Let me rephrase that. In order for you to tap the window of heaven, for God to come into our environment, to defeat the enemy, to part the sea in your life so that you can walk through on dry land, you're going to have to learn to be still, have faith, pray, and believe. Be still. Have faith, pray fast, and believe. Be still, have faith, pray fast, worship the Lord, and believe. That's what I want you to do tonight. I want you to tell fear to go back to hell where it came from. That's what I want you to do tonight. I want you to stand firm on what God has said in his word that he's going to do for you. That's what I want you to do tonight. I want you to fall on your face tonight and talk to the Lord about all that's in your heart so he can show all of us what he can do. That's what I want you to do tonight. I want you to become best friends with the Most High. I want you to study the walk of Jesus Christ. I want you to crack open that Bible and read stories about people that's going through what we're going through today. And I need for you to fall into the posture of doing what they were doing back then in order for you to get a breakthrough. Because I want you to understand, baby, that principalities ain't playing in this hour. Principalities are showing his head. Satan is showing himself in this time, and there's no way that you can defeat the devil. But what you can do is be faithful, pray, have faith, fast, worship the Lord, believe, and be still. And allow the Lord to show you that what you are witnessing and seeing today, you will never see again. I love you guys. Peace. And I still be believing in you.